Good morning, good morning, good morning, all. My name is Anthony Carter. I am the host and producer of the show Visionaries and Truth Tellers. As usual, I have reached out to somebody who's really wonderful on Twitter. I've met more great people on Twitter this last year during COVID than the 10 years I've had my Twitter account. So I'm always meeting really great people and reaching out to them. And lovingly, they reach out back and say, yeah, I want to be a part of this project. My guest today from the Vegan Hippie Soul, I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she does and how she's here to help and support us as a culture and as a community. So without further ado, take it away.
Hi, my name is Dominique Williamson, also known as Vegan Hippie Soul. And first, I want to say thank you for having me. I have two cookbooks out, and I help people transition into veganism through recipes, cookbooks, and a lot of other things. And I'm an owner and founder of Vegan Hippie Cafe, and my mission is to eliminate the stigma surrounding veganism
Mhm.
through a vegan diet or plant-based diet, 100% vegan, 100% affordable, and 100% made with love.
Wow. Okay, that was your bio. So
Yeah.
let's jump right in. What excites you these days? What are you thrilled about?
Honestly, food excites me, especially during this quarantine, the pandemic, and everything. I love feeding people. I love healing people through food, and I really would say I'm a food connoisseur, a vegan food connoisseur. And some people joke and say being vegan is your personality trait, and I used to get offended, but now I
Mhm.
really think it is. So that's what excites me: vegan food and healing my community.
Okay, so let me I want to make sure that you plug those cookbooks. This is why. My mother is the one that got me into veganism because my mother, she switched over in 2004, and she's been trying to get me
Wow.
to like, and so she's had no dairy, no, none of that. So she kind of introduced me to it last year. I took the plunge. It's been almost a year. I feel great. Everything. I'm
Yes.
sleeping through the night. My mind is clearer, no mood swings,
More energy.
more energy. I can move through things faster. It's very fascinating. But I want to plug the book because yesterday I bought your cookbook. I bought two copies, and I
Mhm.
bought one for me and I bought one for my mom and sent it to her. So I want to make
Thank you.
sure that we plug those cookbooks. And I'm just, from a personal standpoint, tell me about that spicy Korean chicken sandwich, which I'm just itching to get to make.
So my cookbooks, I have two cookbooks. Vegan Hippie Soul is the name of both of them with different subtitles. One's a holiday edition, and one
Mhm.
is my OG, as I would call it. And they both feature Southern recipes because I am from the South. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Um, so those are the cookbooks, and there's 20 recipes in each. And yeah, they're gonna make you feel like your mom's cooking, but vegan. And the spicy Korean vegan chicken sandwich, that actually came because I was hungover. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I want something fried. And I was like, okay, what do I have? And that's literally how all my recipes start. And I just fried some seitan, or you can do soy, and I just topped it with some. I was like, I have kimchi and I have coleslaw. Let's just combine it. And that was the best sandwich I've had in a long time. And
It
it cured
looked.
my hangover.
So what you should do is partner with a liquor company and just say,
Right.
find somebody and say, hey, you get them drunk, they get hangovers, and they come to me and buy the book and make the food. See how that works? That's a marketing.
And I say a lot of my recipes in my book, because a lot of them are like fried or carb heavy, they can cure any hangover, literally. I love it.
That should be your tagline when you're getting when you're trying to like, share the lifestyle and share the change. And people, I don't know about that. And you can always lead them and say, have you ever had a hangover? And they say, yes. And, and then you can say, if you eat this food, this will cure the hangover.
Yes.
So that's great. You took that and turned it into something else. Very quickly, I think I saw a recipe in there for because I looked through both of them. I bought the Christmas one last year, right around the holidays, and then the other one, the OG one, I bought yesterday. And I thought I saw a recipe for one of my personal favorites, which is the sausage and biscuits, the chicken, the gravy and biscuits.
Oh, uh, yeah, biscuits and gravy. That's what it's called.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes, that is a staple in my house.
Okay.
Yeah, my
And you,
mom always made it growing up, so I just had to veganize it.
okay. So tell me about that. So is your mom vegan? Is your family on board?
Yeah, so my sister is the one that introduced us. So she went vegetarian, God, 14 years ago now.
Hmm.
She came home and told my mom, she's like, Mom, I'm going to be a vegetarian. And my mom's the type of mom, if you tell her something, she's going to, make you honor your word. Um, so yeah, ever since then, she's been plant based, and it's
Okay.
kind of been something in my family. My mom's also plant based. They're not 100% vegan, but my mom would always make two meals growing up. So a lot of the recipes I did get from just watching my mom in the kitchen because I
Mhm.
always wanted to be a chef.
Okay.
Um, so she would always make biscuits and gravy growing up, like every Sunday, every Saturday, like any chance we could get. So I was like, Mom, I have to veganize this. So when I did and she tasted it and she damn near cried, I was like, yes, I finally got the recipe down.
Okay. Okay. That's what it took. When they saw tears and I was like, okay, I
Yes.
nailed it. Yeah, I think
I'm like,
that's
have
I'm
you ever
gonna
had
move.
food so good it makes you cry?
That's a good question. Let me think.
Yeah.
I've had I've come close to tears. I was thinking about that
Mhm.
this morning in two different places. When I was in Greece 3 years ago for writing
Oh.
workshop. So I was in Greece for 2 weeks, and it was a writing and yoga workshop, and there was a total vegetarian retreat, right? And they would cook every day, so you got 3 meals a day. And one day they made uh, vegetarian or vegan moussaka. That's a Greek dish, and it's eggplants and everything, and it was so good. I thought, like, this can't be, this is unreal. Like, this is. So that was one time, and I was in Greece, and I was like, "How do you make this?" And I looked it up on my computer when I got back to my room and figured out how to make it. And I didn't even like eggplant.
Mhm.
And I was just like, "This is
I
if it
love eggplant.
if it converts you." We had some last night for dinner. We had some
Mm.
eggplant. It's a sauce made out of eggplant, onions, and garlic. And I'm gonna put it over chickpeas today or something. But we had that last night for dinner. So now I'm a convert to eggplant. But yeah, so the two times, once in Greece, and there's a restaurant in Brooklyn. I used to live in New York. There's a
Me
restaurant
too.
in Brooklyn called I can't remember the name, but it's a South African restaurant. And the food and the dessert, I mean, I have a very good friend from Brooklyn who took me there, I think once or twice. It was so good. This is no lie. I literally got up from the table and went into their kitchen, and I was like, "How did you do this?" And they were like, "Well, who's the strange person in the kitchen?" And I was like, "I know this is unorthodox and Korean. I'm not nuts. I just want to know how you made it.
Especially in New York,
I'm
they're like,
willing to
who is
work
this
here for
crazy
free to
man?
learn how to cook like this. This is how, because I used to cook a lot. And when I went in the restaurant, I said, I'm willing to work here for free. If that's what it takes to learn how to make this food, I will do it." So yeah, those are the two times. Those are the two times I came the closest to tears.
Yep.
Okay, it will do that for you. So I'm loving the switch though. Let me ask you this. Let's switch gears a little bit. You said you have a restaurant, right? A cafe?
No, so last summer I had a pop-up shop here in Atlanta and
Hmm.
we called it Vegan Hippie Cafe. That name actually came from my mom because growing up, she said she would always open a vegan hippie cafe. After doing that
Hmm.
for the summer, I said, oh no, I said, I don't want a cafe. No. So we're actually transitioning from veganhippiecafe.com to veganhippiesoul.com.
Okay.
Um, because I don't want a cafe, I don't want a food truck, I don't want a restaurant.
Okay. So you want to pop up?
I just really enjoy doing the cookbooks. I really enjoy doing the cookbooks and the private chef work. It's just a lot of work to do restaurants and cafes, and that's
Hmm.
just not where my heart is right now.
Wow. Okay. Okay. When I come to Atlanta, I want to come see you. When I come,
Yes.
I used to live in Atlanta a long time ago, way before you were born. So yeah, I know Atlanta and Nashville very well. I used to go back and forth between the two. Okay, so let's talk really quickly about um, uh, so what is your if you could have one hope for your community or the community, let's just say the Black community in worldwide and in Atlanta, what is your one hope around health and food and how we can just improve our lives? What's your one hope or what's your recipe for doing that?
I really hope that my community, the Black community, just really looks into the food and the system behind a lot of the foods that we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to understand that a lot of the foods weren't really made for us, such as like milk and cheese and dairy,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of take control over our health, whether you go plant-based or vegan. I always say with Black folks, it's whatever you choose, but to really understand and process what we're putting in our body and make a change. That way, the generations to come, we're able to live until 100, 102, 90 without all of the health complications that we have within our community.
Yes, I agree. Very quickly, can you give us a definition or explain the difference? My mother explained this to me a month ago, and I was like, I don't know about that, Mom. The difference between plant-based and vegan.
So plant-based, I was plant-based for years before going vegan because plant-based, majority of the plate is plants. So you may have, like, in my opinion, some fish on there, some dairy on there, goat cheese, whatever. It's not, you don't really do it for the animals, as where vegan it's a philosophy, you're doing it for the animals. It's like a total liberation movement. You care, you don't wear fur, no dairy, no animal, anything. And that's why I was plant-based for a long time. Because when I lived in New York, you're buying designer, you're buying all this stuff. I was like, I'm plant-based. And then I got educated about the animal industry and I was like, okay, I'm vegan. So vegans are for the animal. Plant-based is usually for your health.
Wow. Okay. I will make sure we highlight that when we edit this video because nobody, and that's not the way that my mom explained it to me, who got it from somebody else and was like, well, what's the difference? So the way that I look at it is kind of like you want as many plants on your plate as possible when you eat. So it's like, and that, so lay off the cheese, lay off the, I know today is Easter Sunday and people are like, oh, we should be eating ham. And I'm like, well, no, we shouldn't. I mean,
no.
But that's not what I'll be doing. Okay, so this is something very interesting. So tell me about your time living in New York. You said you lived in New York.
Yeah, I lived in New York for 3 years. That's actually how my business came about. I moved there with a friend. And at the time I was like, okay, we're going to go vegan. I was like, we're going to go plant-based. And they were like, okay, if you cook, like, I'll do it with you. So I just started cooking and I've been to literally every vegan restaurant in New York. I love New York. I can't wait to move back, hopefully after COVID and everything. But yeah, my time there was fun. I was able to try everything from vegan pizza to vegan soul food to Caribbean foods. And so I would say I have a pretty good palate for all things vegan.
Okay. Did you ever go to the vegan spot that was on 125th and Lenox?
Yeah, the
in
soul
Harlem?
food place.
Yeah, you went there? I used to love that
It's
place.
called, what's the name of it? So I don't remember the name, but yeah, it's a mom and son. They own it.
Yep.
They
Right
have
there
really
on the
good
corner.
vegan crawfish.
Oh, I never had that there.
Yeah.
I've had everything else. They offer the chocolate cake, everything else they have. I've had it. I used to go. Yeah, that was a place I used to go to a lot.
So good.
Very good. Okay, so as I wrap up and move us on, let you get on with your day. Where can people find you? So if people want to buy your book, if people want to find you, if they want to hire you, if they want to contact you, give us all of that for the folks.
So for my book, you can find it on veganhippiecafe.com. And then my whole site is there's a contact form, recipes, my book. And then for my social media, it's Vegan Hippie Soul, SOL. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. I will talk
Thanks
with
for
you
having
soon.
me.